keep the chat open as well. I see a lot of familiar names here. Welcome everybody. It's snowing here in the Northeast. It's coming down pretty good. Here in New Haven, Connecticut. So I've got the chat open, any Q&A, ask. More people are piling in. I'm really excited today to talk to everybody. Thank you for trusting me with your time. I know it calls for 45 minutes, but we will do my best to make it shorter than that. Everybody's really starting to come in now. It's a couple minutes before noon here, East Coast time. New York time. I'm Joe Pannone. CEO, President of Forza Technology Solutions here in New Haven, Connecticut. Really, really excited to have everybody here for this workshop. Thanks again for trusting me with your time. Just wait a couple more minutes, let these other people come in. I see a lot of familiar faces. Thanks for coming, everybody. Make sure it's worth everybody's time. Again, any questions, don't hesitate to chat. Don't hesitate to ask a question. We will have some polls as well. Make it as interactive as possible. And hopefully fun. Most of you are ConnectWise, manage, I know, users, partners. I wonder how many of you have been to IT Nation. Start chatting in there, please. People, can you hear me? Is there anybody out there? I haven't missed an IT Nation since 2007. Maybe we've met there before. There it is. Hey, John. Hey, Zeal. Hey, Dan. Hey, how are you? Yeah, IT Nation is great. I'm good. I'm good. I am excited as heck to talk to everybody today. Yeah, Stephen, consider IT Nation. You know, their Connect is a big one, right? In late October, early November. Like I said, I haven't missed one yet since 07. In 07, we were in Tampa in a little hotel, you know, I don't know, 100 of us, and now there's 3,500 attendees last year, 2 months ago in Orlando. So great event. Oh, nice. Yeah, John. Yeah, 3 years. Yeah, it goes by so quick, you know, and well worth it. I think the biggest in the MSP industry, the biggest event, it's IT Nation. If you were there last year, you had Arnie up there with his head team, like handing us the torch as if to say it's ours now. It's owned by the MSPs. They were disallowing competitors, and now they're allowing competitors there. So, you know, Kaseya was there, and, you know, QuoteWorks and other RMMs, and it's really, really great. Yeah, so it's 12:01 now, maybe just another 2 minutes as more people pile in. Again, thanks everybody for your time. Chat me at any point with any questions. Very, very informal. My email, joe@forza.com, it'll be here in the slide deck. We are recording this, so we'll put it up on our site, on CWDash site. And again, thanks everybody for your time. As I look out the window here in New Haven, Connecticut, the snow is coming down pretty good. Very thin snow coming down diagonally, but it's school was closed last night at about 7 o'clock. We got the text, so my daughter's happy. Very good. People are calling in. People are coming in through Zoom. Again, any point, any time, ask any questions. I'll just start in another minute. Oh, there's not many slides. The idea is to answer the questions you have, show you about CWDash. We think it's, we think it's a great platform. If you're a current user, I hope you do as well. And if you're new, let me know. Yeah, right there on the, hopefully everybody can see the screen, my presentation. Please, somebody let me know that you can. You can't manage what you don't measure. That's it, Excellent. Thank you, Russ. Thank you, Dan. Yeah. So February workshop here. Don't worry, winter will be over soon enough. And let's get started, everybody. Thanks again for your time. Joe Pannone, CWDash here, and we'll just go over a couple of points here in our agenda, just the overall mission, what our story is. If you wouldn't mind indulging me, exactly what ForzaDash is, which CWDash is under. How do you get the most out of your ConnectWise Manage? I think that's why we're all here. I'm sure many of you have had ConnectWise even longer than I have. In 2007, when there was 75 employees, and now of course there's well over 1,000. What KPIs should be measuring? I can tell you what we do. I can tell you what some of my peers do. Hopefully it'll work for you as well. So the mission, with ForzaDash is just to help MSPs grow. You'll see that in the next slides, providing, great tools and other product solutions. Again, stop me with any questions, ladies and gentlemen. Again, thanks for coming. Good afternoon. Thanks to our sponsors. The product is free. CWDash is free. And I talk to people and they say, no, Joe, seriously, how much does it cost? It doesn't cost anything. It's got sponsorship. Yeah, but after the 15 days, what does it cost? Doesn't cost anything. These are our great sponsors. And I'm purposely holding up this slide just a little bit longer. If you're not engaging with them, please consider it. They're wonderful sponsors. The list keeps growing, and they are paying for CWDash for you. The competitors of CWDash charge a lot of money. You are now getting it free because of these wonderful, wonderful sponsors. The ForzaDash story, indulge me. I promise to go through this quickly. Tell me if you like it. In '93, after I graduated from college here in New Haven, Connecticut, I started the MSP in my father's garage. We were an MSP and an application development firm, Forza Technology Solutions. Of course, Forza, an Italian word meaning force or strength. In '99, we acquired our largest competitor. We tripled in size. '99 was a really great time. I don't know how many of you have been around then, but it was Y2K. So everybody was scared that their computers weren't going to work anymore. And it was a very, very interesting year. But what happened in 2007, as I just mentioned before, we got both ConnectWise and Kaseya at the same time. Back then, by the way, Natrab was still making lab tech. So even ConnectWise, their MSP was using Kaseya back then. Big year, the platform, big shift in how we were running our MSP. We were using all our own products before that. I'm sure many of you have the same story, gum, bubble gum, and tape, connecting everything together. And we got on these platforms. Within 6 months, my management said to me, look, we need dashboards. We need business intelligence. These platforms are so much data. It's in everything we do. We need to make some dashboards. So of course we're an application development firm. We made some dashboards. We put it on some of the managers' desks. We put on some large monitors. Worked out very well. I inadvertently showed my HTG group, peer group. Of course, ConnectWise owns them now. Many of you are in HTG. I noticed here in the list. When they saw it in my QBR, these dashboards, again, inadvertently just put in there, they stopped me and they said, we want this. What is this? Bring this to market, Joe. I mean, app dev is a very tough business. It's project-based. It's not recurring, which we all seek, that recurring revenue model. So, we decided based on, the input, they beta tested, my peer group beta tested for 3 quarters. In 2010, we released CWDash, CW for ConnectWise, Dash, short for dashboard. We're very, very clever here, our marketing department. And it's pure dashboard for ConnectWise. That's it. It only does dashboarding for ConnectWise Manage. 2010 released it, word of mouth by subscription, did very well for 5 years. 2015, crazy thing happened. 2 of our vendors asked us to put advertising in it. They said, we see what you're doing here. We see how it's all these MSPs have it. MSP is a target audience for us. Let us put ads in it. So again, I had no intention of bringing anything to market. My peers did. And then our vendors asked us to put ads in it. So we changed the model. We give it away. We make more money giving this away than we ever did selling it. The advertisements, the banners are in it. Now by the end of 2018, we're in 2019, of course, we're at just about 3,000 MSPs. We get about 25 to 50 new a month to come on. As of January 1, we merged the MSP portion of Forza with WinXnet, a great, great MSP out of Portland, Maine, Boston, Massachusetts, San Diego, and of course, I'm helping with business development here in the Connecticut, occupying some of my time, but the majority of my time is now on this Forza Dash. And we sell sponsorship. I think it's important to let you know that, how much we sell sponsorship for, anywhere from $34 all the way up to over $8,000 a month, depending on certain, criteria. So this is our story. I just think it does, I think it frames. If I'm boring anyone, please let me know. I know a lot of you and you're not bashful, so let me know, but I just think it's important to kind of frame the story here, where we were and where we are. There's no catches. CWDash is free. There is a paid version that doesn't have the ads, but we really prefer you don't use that. We make more money if you don't pay for it. As we go on, so what is Forza Dash? It's currently 2 applications. It's CWDash for ConnectWise. It's CASDash for Kaseya. We have more apps. We're in NDA discussions right now. We're going to be releasing more apps, all in this free model. CWDash only works with ConnectWise Managed. Kaseya only works with the Kaseya VSA RMM. I know what you're thinking. What's the breakdown? 96% of you use the ConnectWise. We have percentages using both, and Kaseya is 4%, so overwhelming majority are on the ConnectWise side. Oh, here's some numbers that are already released. I just kind of throw these in at IT Nation in November. You put them up on the big screens. 1,000 full-time employees. Some of the, financial numbers there as well. Kaseya, very different company, of course. ConnectWise still privately owned. Kaseya is PE owned, and a lot of acquisitions. Very, very different companies. So I just put those some information up there. I wonder if it surprises you at all or what you think of them. I would love to hear from you in the chat or in the Q&A, of course. So this is what Forza Dash is. Forza Dash is the umbrella, and under Forza Dash are the applications, CWDash and CASDash, with more to follow. A little bit about the community. We're also almost 3,000 MSPs. We get about 25 to 50 new a month. That's the spend by the MSPs. We have you fill out a survey. Of those of you who've already done it know, of course. Close to 90% are expecting hyper growth in 2019. It's very exciting. $170 billion industry MSP is worldwide. Forrester's estimating 21% growth in 2019. We all know that the firms out there can't afford their IT departments. They're going to MSPs. 81% of you, 6 employees or more. The average MSP, of course, worldwide is 17 employees, but just a little bit about the community. I don't know how many of you know Matt. Please let me know. But Matt came on board. He is an advisor. He's COO of ConnectWise. He created LabTech, which is now Automate. He was CEO at eFolder, and smart person. If there's anything I'm good at, it's bringing on smarter people than me, which is not too difficult. So Matt's on board. Actually, he's here and listening. Say hi, Matt. Okay, the first poll. I'm going to launch it now. Are you currently using CWDash? And if you are you on-prem or are you cloud? The numbers are coming in. Thank you very much. Some of you are not using it. Very good. Excellent. Okay, good to know. About 23% are, close to 30% are yes on-prem, and then most of you, 70% approximately, are not using it. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much. So now I can kind of frame, I'll share them too. I'll kind of frame the slides accordingly. If you're using, if you're on the hosted, if you're ConnectWise Cloud, those of you that haven't used it yet, you do need a product called Cloud Data Access. We make read-only calls to the SQL Server. So ConnectWise has a product called Cloud Data Access. It used to be called Cloud Connect. They do a really good job of not showing you this product. It's not anywhere on the website, but it's great. If you're in the cloud, take a look at getting this. It allows you to back up your own data. It allows you direct access to it. It's a terrific product. They are varying the prices. I've seen prices from free to up, and depending on what you have, they are offering free trials. So if you are on their hosted, if you're on cloud, you will need a product from ConnectWise called Cloud Data Access. We are not going through their API. We're making read-only calls to make it real-time dashboard. It's a Windows application. So just a little bit of information about that. Have any questions, don't hesitate to ask, and I'll let you know. Pain points. So with Manage, right? I still call it ConnectWise, but ConnectWise Manage is a great application, of course. We needed real-time dashboarding. You know, that's what my management said to me back in 08. You know, there's just so much information all collected. We need it. And the reports are great. Of course, they're quite static. They're not dynamic. Once they're printed, you know, the data's dead. We want real-time information. How are you currently measuring performance in these areas of your MSP and technical and sales and hours worked with SLAs, ticket load, employee performance, all done here. And QBRs is how do you prepare for quarterly business reviews? Are you going to present a comparison to BrightGauge? Oh, great question, Jim. You know, BrightGauge is I'll show you some of the differences, certainly. BrightGauge does work with other sources. So it works with, QuickBooks and I think Splunk and a couple of, you know, a lot of different data sources. CWDash only works with ConnectWise. BrightGauge is a browser-based application, so it gets your data, uploads it or downloads it, depending on how you're looking at it, and then displays it. CWDash does not do any of that. It's Windows applications, just displays it. So we've got a lot of partners that use both. They have BrightGauge, but use CWDash as well. They use BrightGauge to connect to other data sources. But great question. Please keep the questions coming. I hope I answered that well. And I'll kind of go over it now. You know, with CWDash, very quick install. Remember, it's a Windows application. Very light footprint, 1EXE. Installs on your local workstation, installs on workstations with big monitors, any Windows device it'll install on. MSPs are putting it all over the place. It does write to a little text file in the CWDash folder just to kind of keep settings and the colors you choose and the positions of the dashboard, but it doesn't hold any data. No data from your ConnectWise Manage ever comes back to Forza, ever. We don't see any of it. When the dashboard comes up, the only thing that goes to our cloud are the panels, are the banners, the display. We don't have any of your information. That's one of the biggest differentiators between us and BrightGauge and MSP CFO. All great products, by the way, but since it's a Windows-based application, we're not downloading any of your data. We don't have plans for Mac just yet, Justin. Thanks for that question. We don't. It is on our roadmap for Mac, iOS, Android. Very intuitive, easy to use, Windows application. Like I said, it installs very quickly. Connect it to your Manage and you're all set. Doesn't slow down any work. We have MSPs with over 500 employees that are using it. Never, ever got a ticket on slowdown or performance issues. Again, doesn't download any of your data. It makes read-only calls and displays it. That's the big differentiator between our product and all of those. We don't see any of your data. Of course, increased effectiveness of, you know, I do a lot of walkthroughs with the MSPs, and I get great feedback when they start seeing the dashboards. You know, they start saying things like, they start seeing, you know, open tickets by members, for example, and they say, wait, why does this technician have 5 open tickets? We fired that person years ago, you know, so it's great. It's a very different way of looking at your data. Built in over 75 dashboards, we call them panels, but there's all customization to make more widgets and more dashboards. It's very flexible. The product's 10 plus years old, remember. So it's very mature. We just released our biggest version ever, by the way, last week. Very little training needed. We've got a lot of great videos. Of course, the cloud version if needed, and it's truly free. There's no catch. You know, at IT Nation, it's amazing how seriously, how free is it? It's free. It does have, I'll show you what it looks like. It does have banners, but it's free, just like an app on your phone. You know, there's no upsell. It's truly free. Second poll, so I can kind of reframe it, and that is on, oops, sorry, I launched it again. Let me end that and go to the next one. Number 2, here you go, and launch polling. And this goes right into the question. I assume you're going to show the app and new changes. I have some team members that are making decision off this meeting. Yes, yes, to answer your question, yes. Russ, can everybody see the poll? Okay, great. What would be the downside of using this ConnectWise API versus direct SQL calls? Thanks, Russ, great question. The downside is with the API, we have to go through their application program interface to get the information. So it's not truly real time. It still has to get the data, bring it in, and then redisplay it. So when we made it way back in 2007, internally, we decided to go directly to the SQL. So we find that the MSPs enjoy that much more. I'm on a Mac with a browser-based front end. We don't plan on going browser front end for that same reason, anonymous attendee. But we are looking into making it for the Mac to make it real time. Thanks for your on the polling. A lot of Brightgauge, great product. By the way, just purchased by Continuum. Very cool. Shows the value of of dashboarding. Nyler's with some MSP, create your own, and then some other that I didn't mention. I wonder what that other is. Please let me know. Thanks everybody for the poll. I will end it, and I'll share it with you too. So yeah, that provides some great feedback. So a lot of Brightgauge, again, I know the Sal's there in Miami, excellent product, very different than ours. So this is what CWDash looks like. You'll see that it's a Windows application, again, very different from browser-based. It's installed on any Windows device, all throughout your MSP. There's dashboards for every department, for dispatch, for operations, for sales, for marketing. It could be in the NOC. It's just not technical. A lot of people think it's just technical, but there's dashboards for, we have it in our MSP. I know a lot of our peers put it all over, second and third monitors, and of course on larger monitors. So that's what it looks like. Here's what a monitor would look like with both applications running. You see that there are the banners are running with our great sponsors, if you don't mind me saying. And again, MSP is getting the real value from the dashboard. You see in the lower center, there's a great dashboard called Timesheet by Day. How many of you, have an issue with putting in, the technicians putting in their time? I don't see raise of hands, but I'm going to assume a lot of you. You put this dashboard, this panel up on a large monitor. I did this 2.5 years ago now, and I'll never forget. It was like the second or third day, and I overheard one technician saying to another, "Hey, looks like you only put 20 minutes in yesterday. That's because I had to do the rest of your work." So it gamifies and it helps. Once it's up there, it just raises the bar of accountability, and it's a great panel. John, you ask, is there a role-based access to CWDash, admin versus tech versus engineer, and can each user customize their own dashboard view? Excellent question, John. So yes, the role-based. So when you install CWDash, it assumes you can see everything except finance. You see there's a finance button there on the left. When you click on it and you show any of the currency-based dashboards. What it does is it asks you for your ConnectWise credentials. You type in your username and password to your ConnectWise Manage. It checks to see if you have access to the financial reporting. If you do, it allows you access to that. All the other dashboards have no currency in them. So it's not role-based. Specifically, when you open it, it assumes you're any role except for finance. So there are great dashboards for the technicians where they can just see their tickets. There's a great panel called My Panel, where you put in the technician who it is, and it just shows their tickets. And yes, you can customize their own dashboard view. You can choose what service boards. You can change the colors. You can go from horizontal to vertical. You can position them anywhere you want in your screen, and it saves them. As soon as you close CWDash, it remembers everything. It saves it in that little text file in your CWDash folder, program files, and it saves everything. So I hope I answered your question, John. Next poll is 3 of 5, and that is, of course, what department? Go along with your question, John. What department are you most interested in right now? Dispatch, management, sales, finance, technical, admin, service infrastructure, and of course, don't care, Joe. Just show me what it can do. I don't mind that answer as well, and a lot of you are. A lot of you are selecting that, which is very funny. Wow, this is a lot of dispatch, a lot of management, a lot of sales, finance. This is fantastic. Technical, admin. Wow, very cool. It does all of that. By the way, everybody, thanks again for coming today. This is so exciting for me. This is just so exciting. 24% of you said you don't care, just so we could do, which is very cool. It's about 67% of you voted. Yeah, like most management, which is great. There's great management dashboards. There's great ones of management. Things about QBR and, hours worked and, that are billable and not. And there's great. I'll stop the polling now and I'll share it with you. And thank you for 23% of you saying you don't care. Just get on with it. But management certainly wins as I share the results. So, the top used panels. So we know, again, panels are just dashboards. We know which dashboards are used the most because we can tell what banners are going to them. Open tickets by service board. Out of all your service boards, which has the most, which have the most that are open, that are not closed. Many of you also do a completed status where the technicians can select completed and then dispatch or operations or management then closes them. So it can show all the tickets that are not closed or that are not completed. It's up to you, that are per each service board. We have a threshold of 5, by the way. Once it gets beyond there, service manager starts making some, starts acting upon it. Just an internal message. Open tickets by age. How many tickets are, 30, 40 days old? That's maybe it's a project, which is acceptable in some cases. In others, it may not. But open tickets by age, very important metric. We do have one ticket that shows oldest open ticket, and it shows a picture of a donkey, and it always gets a great laugh, of course, where you can see who has the oldest ticket. And I think the record, by the way, is it was like 400 plus days. Somebody sent us a picture of that, which is very funny. Open tickets by company, by each client, how many open tickets are there? It's alarming sometimes as I walk by and, on my monitor, I'm just showing more financial, some other things. So when I walk by a big monitor and I see that there's 10 open tickets from a big client, I stop, and I say, I go to my service manager, Maggie, what's happening here? I get an exclamation. Timesheet by day I just talked about, where the technicians don't put in their time in a timely fashion. This again, take a look at this. I know so many MSPs that are just using this. Take a look at it, and make sure everybody can see it. Open tickets by status, how many are waiting on client? How many tickets are, I'll keep on referencing Maggie, my dispatch for 20 years, you know, the glue that holds the company together. Her favorite status is done yet? Question mark. You know, asking the technicians, this ticket's been hanging around, is it done yet? But showing each of the status, the tickets that are not closed, that are all open, hours worked by each member. You know, how many hours have been worked this week that are billable and not. Tickets not acknowledged, the great one that it wasn't our idea, by the way. A lot of these panels weren't our idea. We get them from the MSPs. These are tickets that haven't been touched. You know, on Monday how you come in and RMM has created, you know, tens, hundreds perhaps of these tickets. A lot of them are false positives, and you know, and now it's Tuesday and Wednesday, and you have to wonder how many of these tickets have not been acknowledged, not even touched at all. They were created by some outside source. A great panel that's used. Client summary. You know, how many of you have, you know, regular quarterly business reviews or technical business reviews? Maybe they're bi-monthly. We do QBRs. And you have to prepare for it, and it used to take us a half day to a day to pull all this data out of ConnectWise. You do it now in 3 steps, ladies and gentlemen. You ask, just go to client summary. It asks for the company name. You put in the date that you want to see it. It could be anyone in the date range, of course, or any ad hoc. You choose what you want to display. You click finish. In less than a minute, it'll display, push everything out to Excel on its each tab with a graph and chart on each one. I mean, this has saved MSPs hundreds of hours. Just take a look at it, and once you have it in Excel, now it's a great foundation for you to have your meeting with your client. And since it's in Excel, obviously you could take some liberties if you need to change or edit or go in and change some tickets and run it again. But client summary, a great one. We talked about management, the most popular here of departments. Take a look at client summary. Tremendous panel. Member review. I once had a technician tell me, I closed 1,000 tickets last month. I'd like a bonus. Has this ever happened to you? You know, so what's a quick way to tell? So like the client summary, we also have a member review. Great recommendation by our MSPs. You put in the member, you choose in the time range. Again, it outputs to Excel. And while this great technician who's no longer with the company did a great job of closing a lot of tickets, there were certainly a lot of false positives. But, you know, he did do a great job, but just not 1,000 tickets worth. But again, this kind of reveals that, pulls all that information out of ConnectWise that you can digest in a very quick form in less than a minute, in 3 quick step wizard. Widgets. This is a couple years old now. A way to create widgets. It just answers one question. 4 steps. You tickets with a specific status or that are not closed. You choose the service boards you want this to relate to, and then you have a little area here we can do color coding. You can say if it's less than X, and if it's X to Y, it'll be green and yellow and red. If it's red, it means an alert, obviously. And the 4th is, of course, to name it. Here's some great widgets here. I know MSPs that have sent me pictures. Their monitor just completely covered in widgets that they created. Just one whole monitor dedicated to the widgets. And you can position them and move them around wherever you like. So take a look at widgets. Excellent area to create your own. So call to action. You know, if you're currently using CWDash, dive deeper. You know, some of the new, somebody asked about the new features. We have over 15 new panels in this new version that came out last week. The way that we actually export to Excel and get data from SQL, we've optimized. You're going to know notice it being a lot quicker than before. If you're using CWDash, get the newest version. Yeah, I can show you a live demo, Steve. It'll show you my information. I'm sorry, Steven asked if you could see a live demo. I could show you the product right away. It'll show my data, so it won't be as impressive as seeing your own. But if you're currently using it, by the way, you get a key, you get a license key. Install it on as many workstations as you want on your MSP. It's free. Just get that key and copy it over, get the EXE, copy it over, install it in every department, spread it around, you know, gain the benefit. If you don't have CWDash, you go to CWDash.com, you click get it, and away you go. You got to fill out a quick survey, contact sales@CWDash.com. You'll get an email. I'll have my calendar on me. Reach out to me. I'd love to walk through it with you. Install it. Let me know. Get you on the calendar, and we can walk through it. I think you'll really enjoy it. poll here, 4 of 5. Let me launch it now. You know, should CWDash continue to be free? Josh, you said your account has been canceled. Yes. Perhaps at one point you were, let me send a, let me just record this. If you could send, send an email to sales at CWDash. I'll make sure somebody gets on it right after this. He said that something happened with his cancellation. I'll take a look at that, Josh. Should CWDash continue to be free? Most of you are saying yes. Some of you are saying no. I wonder why. If you would chat to me. I wonder why. Again, there is a paid version that you can pay for it without the ads. We prefer that you don't, but certainly if you do, if you want to, you can take a look at it. Most of you have voted. I'll end this now, but 92% of you say, is there, Russ, yeah, another question. Thanks, Russ. Is there a way to create a set of dashboards and have multiple computers use that set instead of individually on each machine having to reconfigure each one? Yeah, they don't talk to each other. They only make read-only calls. So yeah, you'd have to configure each one on each workstation. So yeah, CWDash runs independently. You can get the configuration file and then copy that configuration file over to another workstation and it'll have all the settings. That's a kind of workaround. So, but once it's there, you can't really, they don't communicate, they don't network to each other. Each dashboard makes read-only calls to the ConnectWise, to your ConnectWise server. They don't talk to each other, and of course they don't come back to our, you know, to our cloud or anything. The only thing going to our cloud are the banners. Donnie said doesn't like the advertisements, rather pay for them. No problem, Donnie. You let us know. Yeah, paid version is $2.99 a month. You let us know. And yeah, you let us know. We'll certainly do that. Thanks again. I'll end the polling. Thank you, Milan and Donnie, for the questions, and Russ, of course. And we will go to the next. And here's the, you know, here it is again. And I'll show you. You know, this is, somebody asked for a live demonstration, and this is what it, you know, this is what it looks like. Position with both applications running with the banners there. Yeah, so Jim said you completed the survey, you will get an email. Yes, you will get an email with the application. If you don't, let us know, but you will. And here's the app again, just some odds and ends. We don't accept commission. You know, vendors have asked us, you know, will you, if anybody signs with us, we'll give you a spiffer bonus. We remain independent. We do charge them for the banners and, you know, access to you, but we don't accept any commission. New version just released last week. We have great contests. Who uses CWDash the most in our newsletter? We give away great prizes. You know, tell other MSPs certainly. There's nothing to lose. Give it a try. If you don't like it, just stop using it. There's no commitment. We hope that you will use it and continue to use it. You know, when we were selling CWDash, it didn't matter whether the MSPs were using it or not. We wanted you to, of course, but it didn't matter because we were making revenue. Now that it's free, we want more of you to use it. So the sponsors can have more banners displayed to you. So this model helps all camps. It encourages us to make better version, new information, new updates for you, the MSP community, and while at the same time satisfying our vendors. Somebody just asked, I am recording this, and it'll be up on CWDash soon. Right afterwards, we'll make a couple of quick edits at the beginning and end, and it'll be up soon. Would you recommend CWDash to a colleague? Last question. How do we download the latest version? If you have CWDash, go to config and go to update, and it'll do it itself. It'll tell you if you have the latest version, and it'll go get it. Would you recommend CWDash to a colleague? Getting a lot of yes. I appreciate that. I'll continue the polling. Thanks everybody for your time. Let's have a face-to-face. my team in our newsletter has a "Where is Joe" area. Where am I going to be? I'm going to be at. I've never been to Robin Robbins before, but I'll be at her boot camp next month in Nashville, 5th through 8th. I don't know if how many of you are going to be there, but please reach out, let me know. Love to have a face-to-face with you. Talk about how we can improve the product, how it can be better. Kaseya Connect, I'm about 50–60% going to be there, not 100% yet there in Vegas. IT Explore, which used to be their Automate, which used to be IT Nation Automate in June, plan on being there. And of course, the biggest show of the year, IT Nation, October 30th to November, Halloween, will be there. So please reach out if you're going to be in any of these places. Any questions? Let me know. There's my calendar. And yeah, I'm sorry. I'm one of those kind of people who put my picture in a slide, but indulge me, please. My marketing team asked me to do that. But yeah, that's me. Sale to CWDash goes to everybody in our team. Joe Forza just comes to me. If I'm available, of course, I'll get right back to you. Of course, CWDash.com is available for all information. There's my calendar. Somebody asked for a demonstration, so I'll actually bring this over here and I'll show it to you. Again, thanks everybody for coming. Whoops. And I will enlarge this. So this is actually running right now. You see that these are the dashboards, or it's all real time. As changes are made, this is activities past due. This is a sales one right here. These are the dispatch panels. If I right click on any of these, by the way, they'll get saved here in the favorites. I really take a look at it. So under operations, ticket close by %. I don't know if there's any particular ones you want me to see. Donnie asked you if we have training videos, full of training videos on our on CWDash.com. What sets you apart from reporting already in ConnectWise? Excellent question. The dashboarding ConnectWise isn't very strong, and they'll tell you that. They do have some nice dashboards recently. They've added to it, but this lives outside of the ConnectWise application. So that's why a lot of the MSPs like it. You don't have to run their actual application to see it. It lives outside it, so it can continually run and continually be updated. That's the main reason why. Again, it's not in a browser, so you're not getting logged out. You're not getting, disconnected. Since it's a Windows application, it continues to run. Here's the widgets. I showed you the widget panel builder before. We've got some triage ones here. There's the finance ones, sales. I don't know if there's anyone you want me to see. Tickets that are acknowledged, I talked about before. Tickets without resources is a very popular one. Here's one, ticket activity. It shows, again, this is showing my information, so it's not going to be as impressive as seeing your own. The first time you open it, by the way, it will open up the browser and show you some more information about it. But tickets open today and closed today. This person in the lower right has the oldest open ticket, 165 days. So this is, one of the, and here you have the little settings area where you're able to, select the board, send to Excel. You can see videos. You could turn the menu off. You could turn the border back on so I can move it around and then turn the border off. I could position these in any way, change them any size, change the colors, to any position that I want here to kind of show everything. Any other questions? Thanks again for everybody's time. I did say 45 minutes. We're coming up on 45 now. Some of you are leaving. Training videos, yes. We are recording this. We'll put this up. This is CWDash here. Go and take a look at it. Any other questions? Everybody, thanks again for your time today. Really, really appreciate it. I'm humbled. I know you're very busy. MSPs are, it's tough. It's very tough. I've been one for a long time, and it's tough. And I know you're busy. So spending your lunch with me is very humbling. Again, if you're going to be in any of those face-to-face, Robin Robbins or IT Nation or Kaseya Connect, let me know. John, thank you. I appreciate the compliments. Steve as well. A number of you are still on. If you have any questions, let me know. Take a look at it. Love to get your feedback. There's an idea area right here. I mentioned before that somebody asked how you can tell if it was a new version. Under here, under system, you can go update, and it'll check to see if you have the newest version. You're already up to date. There's an area here where you can click ideas, where you could submit ideas. We're constantly getting new ideas from the base, and we love it. We want to add more on. Thank you, Russ. I appreciate it. Everybody, please, take a look. Tell me what you think. Give me your feedback. If you don't like it, please give me some constructive feedback. Tell us how to make it better. Our goal is to, help MSPs grow, and ConnectWise is a fantastic platform, and we believe that this helps it even more with very little commitment from yourself. Just a couple more minutes left. Stephen, can you run a master report with widgets, etc., like an exec report? Yeah, the widgets can't send to Excel, which is an interesting point, by the way. I don't know if you, so there's not really a master report, but we are, one of our roadmap is actually having some of these dashboards turn into reports that can be emailed. That is on the roadmap. So similar, but they're not really reports, they're more dashboards because these are all dynamic. You'll see these numbers move as we talk. So I hope I answered your question, Stephen. Any other questions, everybody? It's almost 45 minutes. I don't want to be respectful of everybody's time. I hope I answered everybody's questions. Oh wait, looks like there's some more. I apologize. How often does data refresh? Every minute, less than a minute, Justin. It refreshes. Yeah, so it's real time. Is there not a dashboard available for a specific KPI? How can we get? Oh yeah. Okay. Is there not a dashboard available for a specific KPI? How can we get CWDash to create one for us? Those widgets, answer a specific question. If you have a key performance indicator, the widgets is a good way. A KPI may be tickets without resources, like I have right here. It may be open opportunities. So yes, there is a way to show that. So I'm going to say yes with widgets and other panels. Send. Install the new version that brings up a web page that mimics the panel. Can this be turned off? Yes, Russ. What that does is it just shows you, it only shows you kind of primer on the dashboard. It should only come up the first time, not every time. Less than a minute for all data sets, i.e. takes then 14 days or 30 days. Yes, Justin, very good point. i.e. does take that long because it's in a browser. This is a Windows application. So it's that's why we keep it in a Windows application to make it real time. If it was in a browser, we'd have to use the API, again, consume all your data, redisplay it like the others do, but this is a Windows application. Great questions, Justin, I appreciate it. So obviously you're a technician, you understand this. Is there a direct link to download a new version, or does the current version auto update? Yes, it updates, every noon it checks, and I'll tell you if it needs to be updated. Is there a maximum number of dashboards that can be displayed at one time? There is not. I've seen dashboards completely fill it, even on multiple monitors. So no. How do I re-download the program? Go to CWDash.com, Jeff, or you can email us and we'll get it to you, Jeff Smith. I love this. Thanks for the great questions. I see there's still some of you here. I'll certainly stay, answer any questions. A Mac question, yes. On roadmap. Is there a maximum number of dashboards? Send. Any other questions? Many of you are leaving. It's past 45 minutes. I want to be respectful of your time. Having a challenge with installing app. It wants SQL admin account. Is that SA account or something different? Can I use my CW credentials? Yes. So Jim, it only needs read-only access, SQL level access to the ConnectWise managed instance. You can use SA, but it is overkill. It never makes any update or insert. It makes read-only calls. So it might be a credential issue. Again, depending on how you have things configured. But we have if you go to CWDash/setup, excuse me, we talk a little bit more about that. But yes, you're on the right track. And sometimes depending on configuration and depending on if your managed lives, on-prem, literally on your network, on your own wire in the office, or is it in the data center, or is it in the cloud, these kinds of come in. There may be an issue with the port and the firewall not allowing SQL. That could be that. But once those are done, it can connect, and once it's connected, you're all set. Everybody can install it. Any other questions? Thanks again, everybody, for coming on. Really appreciate everybody's time. I think I answered somebody asked about the data sets, i.e. takes longer than 14 days in a browser. That is true. We are a Windows app. To Justin. Well, if there's no more questions, I'll sign off. Thanks again, everybody, for coming. This was really exciting. We had a record level of attendees here, and just so exciting. Thanks, everybody. Again, you can't manage what you don't measure. Joe Pannone signing off. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you, John. Really appreciate it. Have a great day, everybody. Be well and stay safe.